Welcome back, or welcome if you are new here. In today's video I will show you 10 tricks and tips you can use when designing designs with canva.com. Canva is a great resource, great tool to use if you need to design anything, starting from posters, leaflets, social media posts, YouTube thumbnails, even websites. And I will give you these extra tips that you will make sure that your designs are really outstanding, and some of them are really well hidden within Canva. So let's get started. I use Canva.com for several different things, and one of them is my YouTube video thumbnails. And I will just use one of these thumbnails as example for today's tutorial. So tip number 1, using shadow effect to make your design pop up more. So select one of the elements. Let me just take my own image right here, then click on edit image, scroll down here, you can see on the shadows right there and see them all, and then you have option to choose from. I like glow shadow. Then if you click on it again, you can adjust the color of it, size, transparency and blurriness. So if I go for the white color, just because my background is quite dark, then you can change how transparent you want it to be, the size of your outline, so if I make it a bit larger, and also the blurriness. So it doesn't have to really be anything too much or too big, it just gives you this kind of outline shadow around your element for it to stand out more. Now tip number 2, how to continue working of improvement of showing your element more, is to adjusting the blurriness and transparency of your background. So if I click on my background image right here, and first of all I come on transparency and slightly reduce the transparency of my image right here, and then go on edit image, and then we scroll down on these adjustments to see them all, and go on blur, and then create your background to be looking more blurred. If you feel you're losing some color when applying the blurriness, you can come back up and increase or reduce the brightness, and you see how your background now shows your element on the top of it much more brighter. Now tip number 3, I wish somebody would tell me that when I just started with Canva, is how to select layers. So for example here I have a white text and then I have a black background underneath, and if I simply click on it I can only select the text layer. What about if I want to change the color of this? So I used to would just move this around and then select my layer underneath. While instead, if you just simply click on this and then click on and hold on a control if you are on a Windows, or hold command if you are on a Mac, and then just left click again, and that lets you to select the layer behind. So you can see now I can come here and simply to change color of this element that is layer behind my text. Tip number 4 is to use a single key shortcut. So if I come on a blank page, I will show you what I mean. If I simply click T on my keyboard, it will gonna open me new text layer. If I click on the C, it will give me new circle. Okay, so if you come on a Canva and on the learning page they have resources, and then you can see image of all the shortcuts you can use. So if you click on this image and then zoom in, you can walk around and explore what shortcuts you can use, and you might see some of the actions you perform quite often on Canva, and then you can just memorize a shortcut and speed up your designing process. Now tip number 5, you can copy and paste elements from one design to another. I used to thought that I can only copy and paste within the pages on one design. Well, it turns out if you come on another design and simply Ctrl C to copy, and then come back on another page and Ctrl V on another design, you will copy and paste the element as it was on another design. Now tip number 7 is how to remove the backgrounds. So as you might know, Canva does have background removal, but sometimes if I want to remove background from large and high resolution image, it can take a bit of time and slow down my computer. So what I can do instead is first crop the image. So double click and then drag these corners around, just around the area that I actually need to be removed. So I can manually crop around the rest, so background processor only needs to work on this part of the image. And then if I go on edit image and click on the background remover, it will start working. Now if there is anything left around your hairs or somewhere maybe maybe around your hands, on the details that you still would like to remove, you can then come and select the brushes to erase more or restore some of your image. So like in this instance, it looks like it did pretty decent job. Now background remover is a paid feature and you would have to subscribe for a Canva's premium version. If you would like to try it out free for 30 days, I will leave the link down below in this description. Next tip is to use gradient backgrounds. So if I duplicate this design and remove my background and search either within the elements or photos, let's say we search for a red gradient, you will get access to all sorts of gradients you can use on your design. So you can change the color, maybe you want to search for a purple gradient, and again you can just simply take one of these files and use as your background or any other element or for your design. So for instance, if I'm using it for my YouTube thumbnails, I wouldn't have to go to blur it or change the transparency. It's already looking pretty nice. Now the next tip, how to group or ungroup elements. So for example, if I select some of the elements in my design and then right click and group, they will be joined in one group. So if I click on this middle element, it will gonna select all of these elements together, and then I can move them around all together or resize them as needed. If I then need to work on one element separate, again I can right click and ungroup them. Now if I need to crop, resize or frame some of the elements, what I can do, let me just do a new page. Now the next tip is to resizing or cropping your images by using frames. So for example, I have this image. If I double click, you know that you can crop this image like this. You can also resize it by single click and just dragging it like that. But if I go on elements and search for frames, it will give me all sorts of frames. So for example, if I drag this frame right here, you can then go and drag your image on the top. It will get cropped in the shape you still have selected your frame. This is also very useful if you are doing some mock-up designs. So you have access to the computer or a laptop or even a mobile phone or even book cover. So you can drag your designs on the top of your book covers. Now the next and last tip is how to resize many elements in the same size. So for example, if you have several circles like this, it can be social media icons, it can be really any elements from the element tab that you have taken, and then you have different sizes. So one of the things I would like to do is to drag them on the top of each other first. So if I come right this and then right click and bring it to front, so I can see this one is on the top, okay, so I can position them to be in the one size first. So once you have done that, you can then select all of them and adjust the sizing as you wish, and then again you can separate them and you have these elements in the same size. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. If there are any tricks and tips or hacks you would like to share, please let us know by typing them down below in the comments section. We would love to hear from you. Let me know what you're using a Canva for as well. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Do subscribe for more videos like this. And if you turn your notification bell, you will get notified whenever we post new videos, and we do so every single week. Thank you so much for watching. Now go ahead and watch this video as the next one, and I will see you then.